I can't believe I'm making this video because desk setup videos are a dime a dozen. Every time I open YouTube, some desk setup video pops up. But I've made over 200 videos, and I don't think I've ever made an iPad desk setup video. At least that I can remember, maybe one. Anyway, this is a show and tell deal, nothing fancy, so just sit back for a few minutes and watch, and who knows, you might see something you might find helpful. Hi, my name is Rich and I make easy to follow videos on how to use your iPad and iPhone. Today's video is about me trying to squeeze a computer out of my iPad. I know a lot of people think of the iPad as a computer, but honestly, I don't. I think of a Windows PC at work as a computer or my iMac as a computer. Usually when I try to do computer things on the iPad, I hit a brick wall. But this past year, with the release of iPad OS 26, the iPad got a lot closer to being a computer. It's still not there, at least for me, but it's a lot closer. So I thought I'd try to build a traditional computer desk setup, but instead of a Windows computer, I'd use my iPad. The iPad I'm using is the 11-inch iPad Air with an M3 chip. You'll need an iPad with an M-series chip in it to do what I'm going to show you today. I'm also running iPad OS 26, so keep that in mind as you watch how all of this stuff comes together. Also, I'm using a FlexiSpot standing desk, but despite calling this a desk setup video, I'm not really going to talk about the desk, except to say you need some flat surface on which to work. I'll put a link to this desk in the description below if you'd like to learn more about it. Suffice it to say, I've got a nice big surface on which to work. Okay, to get started with this, the first thing I needed was a computer monitor. Now I have really expensive, fancy 5K Apple Studio displays that I use with my Mac Studio computer to edit videos. These things are about $1,600 each, and no way was I going to spend that on this setup. But I did find a Dell 27-inch monitor on Amazon for a little over $300. I'll put a link to it in the description below. It's a 4K monitor, so the resolution is really sharp. It has a neat little USB-C pop-out port that I found pretty clever. You can connect a drive to it and watch videos or view photos. I'm not sure I'll ever use this feature, but it's nice that it's there. The monitor came with a stand that I chose not to use. Instead, I bought a cheapo monitor arm, also off of Amazon. I did that because I really wanted the monitor to be steady and the stand was a little bit wobbly. I mean, it's not like I shake my desk a lot, so the stand would probably have worked, but I chose the desk-mounted arm instead. I've connected my iPad to a USB-C hub made for the iPad. I did that because in order to make this thing more like a computer, I needed to have some way to connect an external drive and SD cards to the iPad. The iPad itself connects to the hub via a built-in cable, and the hub is powered by a USB-C power supply. Finally, the hub connects the iPad to the screen via a single HDMI cable. Now that might sound like a spider web of wires, but honestly it's pretty clean and it only took me a few minutes to set up. And once it's set up, connecting everything is done with just the single cable that plugs into the iPad. But remember, you don't have to go out and buy a hub to do this. You can just connect your iPad to the monitor with a single USB-C cable and you're good to go. The only downside is if you need to add or remove data from an external source, you'll need to unplug the monitor to gain access to the iPad's USB-C port. Though I like the iPad speakers as well as the built-in TV speakers, I actually prefer the two HomePod minis I've connected via the Home app. For such little things, they sound really good, better than the TV or the iPad, and my wife got them for me for Christmas, so this seemed like a perfect use. Lastly, I've added a spare Apple Magic keyboard and Apple Magic mouse to round out the whole thing. So now I can just plug the iPad into the dock and I'm ready to go. When I want to use the iPad as a tablet, I just disconnect it, slide the iPad into its leather sleeve, and I'm on my way. So what I've done with this setup is make it easy to connect and disconnect, and that's pretty much the whole thing. Disconnecting preserves the iPad as a touch device, and reconnecting quickly turns it back into a computer, so it's, the best of both worlds. But the real question is, how does connecting all this stuff to the iPad help? And the answer for me, at least so far, is it really does make it feel more like a desktop computer. I actually have a large screen where I can see things. I'm using an actual keyboard and mouse like I do at my office computer. I have a way to connect peripherals to the iPad, and I can listen to music or watch videos with good quality sound. So that's the mechanical side of things. Now the real road test is whether the iPad software is where it needs to be. And for me, there are 7 main things I need to do with software. Namely, I need to be able to draft and send emails. I need to be able to use word processors like Microsoft Word or Apple's Pages. I need to be able to surf the web. I need to be able to manage a calendar. I need to be able to use a task manager like Reminders or TickTick. I need to be able to view and edit PDFs, that's important. And I need a robust file system where I can easily find and save files. And spoiler alert, the answer is yes on all of these things. But here's the thing. The operating system on an iPad is not the same as an operating system on a typical desktop computer. So you just have to climb the learning curve and figure out how to do things the iPad way. If you don't like the iPad way, or if there's just too much friction, then this desk setup is probably not for you. If you do like the way the iPad works, then this setup will really take things to the next level. But back to the 7 things I need the iPad to do. Drafting and sending emails is not difficult. Since I'm using a keyboard and a mouse, it makes it feel very computer-like, super handy. Long-form writing in Pages is just as easy as doing it on a traditional computer. No problem here, though these days, I don't write a lot of long-form content. The Safari browser is close enough to the Mac's browser that using it seems to be pretty straightforward. Most of the main features are all there, so not too much friction. For the most part, Apple's calendar app behaves pretty much like its Mac counterpart. The various day, week, month views, they're all there, and you can add as many calendars as you like, and creating an appointment is pretty easy. I've been testing out the task manager TickTick lately, and I love how it works on the iPad. It's literally packed with power user features. But the workhorse for most people is Apple's Reminders. And again, using Reminders on the iPad is a breeze, especially since we now have a menu bar at the top. Finally, it's become easy to dig into features that remained mostly hidden before. iPadOS 26 also brought the Preview app to the iPad, so now managing PDFs is just as easy as using a Mac. Preview adds the automatic form function that works really well, and of course using a keyboard makes filling out the form a simple process. And of course if you have an Apple Pencil, you can just pop the whole thing loose, sign the forms with your Apple Pencil, and you're good to go. Lastly, iPadOS brought a more robust file management system. This has been sorely lacking for some time. I still think there's room to improve this, but the Files app has come a long way. Storing and finding files has become a lot easier than before. And the ability to connect to an external source like Google Drive bring the Files app much closer to the Finder app on the Mac. With a dock, you can connect external drives, SD cards, and the like. I sometimes take pictures with my fancy camera and I need to transfer those photos to the Photos app. It's incredibly simple when you can slide in the SD card and transfer things over. I love it. Okay, that's just a really high-level flyover of an iPad desk setup. I've tried to keep it short and simple. So what do you think? Is an iPad desk setup for you? I'm going to leave things in place for a while and keep test driving this system out and just see where I hit roadblocks, if any. Let me know in the comments below if this is something you might be interested in. Okay, that's it for today. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.